Beautiful Saturday night in our favorite city in the country. Welcome everybody to Lodo. The Rockies and Dodgers getting ready to go. It'll be Kyle Freeland against Walker Buehler. The Rockies a half game in front of Los Angeles, a game and a half. As we just showed you in front of the Arizona Diamondbacks, they'll get going against the Atlanta Braves down in Phoenix in a little while. Completing his warm-up pitches is Kyle Freeland. Here's some more numbers for you. It'll be his 29th start, 13-7 record, the sub-3 ERA, a sub-230 ERA at Coors Field. And this guy relishes pitching in big games. He is not afraid.
No, he's not. I've said it before. A lot of times he pitches like a kid out there, but when he walks off the field, you can tell how much of a man he is. You see his pitch usage right there, 52% fastball. Slider is the go-to pitch, especially hard into right-handed hitters. He likes to open up the outside part of the plate with that and get to his changeup and his curveball.
Well, multiple changes in the very deep Los Angeles, on the Los Angeles roster, I should say. Here's the Southwest batting order. They have 5 different position player starters from yesterday. They're loading up on the right-handed bats. Turner has great numbers against Freeland, 10 for 17, so Kyle's going to try to turn that around. Dozier came off the bench yesterday. Machado, Kemp, David Freese recently acquired. Kike Hernandez was in there yesterday. Chris Taylor did not start last night. Austin Barnes now behind the plate for Grandal. First pitch of the night is on the knees and a strike. 0-1. So Dozier, who came from the Twins, has hit beneath 200 in a Dodger uniform, and that's a line drive grab by DJ LeMahieu. It's all about location in real estate, isn't it?
It is location, location, location. DJ, he made his home right behind second base. And thank goodness for those extremely long arms that DJ was gifted with. What a great play, great read. That's really easy for DJ to get blocked out by Kyle Freeland with the ball right back up the middle. But he makes an incredible play and uses all of that 6'4" frame to make that play.
You know, when I throw BP, one of my favorite lines, when a guy hits a ball off the back of the cage, I say that's a hit in any league, except when you have the shift on.
That is correct.
Here's Turner, again 10 for 17, and there's a strike right on the inside corner. And Freeland knows that Turner's 10 for 17 against him. Turner knows it, and the way Kyle's wired, he's like, all right, man, it's on. Let's go. That's what I love about this guy, and that will make him 11 for 18 as he pours that into left center field. Returned by David Dahl, a 1-out single for Turner. The Rockies with the gloves this evening. They've made some changes, most notably Ryan McMahon, as we were discussing just a few moments ago. He's in there for Nolan at third base. It's Dahl in left. Blackman and Cargo join him. And the only other change, Chris Iannetta getting the start behind the plate. He came in late yesterday. Drew Butera got the start and had a couple of hits. So for now, Nolan with the sweatshirt on, cheering on his teammates.
Well, so far it's 2 first pitch strikes for Kyle Freeland. The Dodgers lead baseball with first pitch swings. They're also 6th in the major leagues with their batting average around 360 when they make contact with the first pitch.
It's a difficult lineup to navigate. Here's another one of the newcomers, Manny Machado. 3 of the first 5 guys in their lineup, Corey and Spilly, were not with the Dodgers 2 months ago.
No, I think when you look at the front office of the Los Angeles Dodgers, they knew they needed to get some right-handed hitters in, especially in division when you've got teams like the Diamondbacks and the Rockies with some left-handed starters. I think they thought they got one of those in Logan Forsythe, and the debate back then was between Dozier and Forsythe. They went with Forsythe, and then obviously this year added Dozier.
Yeah, I think Dozier was their top choice. They couldn't swing a deal at the time with the Twins. 1-1 on Machado, and that is pulled foul. 1-2. Here's the notable acquisitions by the Dodgers this summer. Of course, the big one was Manny Machado coming from Baltimore. Brian Dozier, that got a lot of attention naturally. John Axford, the former Rocky, Ryan Madson very recently, and David Freese very recently acquired from the Pirates once the Pirates fell out of it. And see if the Rockies can twist one here. They will. Another thing you got to appreciate about Kyle Freeland, he fields his position exceptionally well. Tremendous athlete. So a hit, double play, erase that. Rockies getting ready to go on 0. Bueller. It'll begin with Charlie Blackmon. It generally does. Southwest batting order, DJ Cargo in the 3 spot. Trevor Story's riding a 7-game hitting streak. He's done a lot of damage during that streak as well. Typically does. David Dahl, Ian Desmond, Ryan McMahon, the next threesome. Ionetta in front of Freeland. This kid's not big, but he's got a golden right arm. He's got 6'1", 180 pounds, but he can bring it.
Yeah, I mean, the fastball's upwards 97, 98, averages just over 96.
And it's a high spin rate fastball, Spilly. It's a ball that keeps its plane.
It explodes through the strike zone, and that's where he gets his fastballs, is above the belt. This guy reminds a lot of people, and he modeled a bit of his mechanics after Justin Verlander. You'll see it with his mechanics, and you'll also picture how Verlander pitches with his high spin rate in the curveball. It's very difficult to pick up pitches.
2 strikes on Charlie. The Dodgers shift in the infield. No swing. Andy Fletcher confirming that. Andy was more of a topic of conversation last night than I'm sure he wanted to be.
I'm sure that's true. I think he trended on Twitter all the way until about 5:30 today.
And that is foul. Umpires tonight, Laz Diaz is behind home plate. Nick Marley, a young umpire, at first. Jeff Nelson at second, and the aforementioned Andy Fletcher's at third. Here's Laz. They rubbed down 13 dozen baseballs, and Laz felt it necessary, obviously, to rub that one down.
Well, I think sometimes when hitters use black bats, you can get a little bit of the paint out on the ball, and he was just trying to make sure that it was still white.
There's that riding fastball, 2-2. You got to stay off that. The Rockies have some familiarity with Bueller. They've seen him out of the pen. They've seen him now as a starter. And that sharply hit to the only guy on the left side, low throw. And it was handled nicely at first base by David Freese. So Machado throws out Charlie, 1 out. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. They're in the lower third in terms of fielding percentage this year. Matt Kemp's in right field. Does not cover the kind of ground he used to when he was in center. Chris Taylor's a great athlete, play a lot of places, so they basically have 2 center fielders between Kike Hernandez and Chris Taylor, which you need at Coors Field. Austin Barnes doing the catching. Here's DJ. And he takes a strike. Mayhew 2 for 7 in his matchups with Bueller.
Billy, with the fastball in right there, and you're a right-handed hitter, Walker Buehler's really started throwing curveballs inside, and I think you can talk a little bit about how right-handed hitters have to adjust after honoring 96, 97 miles per hour.
Well, there's no question. If you're having fastballs inside to you, it speeds you up as a hitter. You mentally have to think about trying to get the barrel out. And when you throw a curveball inside that works off of the fastball, now you're stuck because you have to respect the curveball throwing inside as well.
2-1, and that's a strike. 2-2.
On that pitch for DJ likes the pitches away. So he's now thinking about pitches in. You see on the Subaru strike zone where the first 2 pitches were, and that opens up the outside portion of the plate for Walker.
Just missed. 3-2.
It's similar to how Kyle Freeland attacks right-handed hitters. It's just different movement, obviously, from the left-hand side and what you're trying to accomplish as a hitter.
Fastball bounced up the middle. No communication, and DJ was so determined naturally to bust it up the line. It was interesting because the ball ended up in no man's land, and had he been aware of it, potentially, I'm not saying guaranteed, he could have gone to second. It'll go as an infield hit. Look again.
He gets a high chopper over the mound. You can see Walker Buehler's helpless, but then you got both middle infielders not communicating, coming together. Manny gets under his glove. And DJ, I think, Drew, you're a coach of high school kids. I think he took the high school saying literally of, don't watch the ball after you put it in play. Get down the line.
Get down the line, and that's a monumental hit for DJ. The crowd reacting. They just put it up on Rocky's vision. Career hit number 1,000. Well, you boys played for a while in the big leagues. That is a very nice number, isn't it?
Neither of us would know anything about it, but
no.
it's incredible. It speaks to the longevity and the talent.
Cargo stays off that pitch. Cargo's 3 for 9 in his 3 for 7 in his matchups with Walker Buehler. Do you know that only 165 second basemen now all time, forever and ever, have reached 1,000 hits? Cargo made a late decision. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hall of Famer Eddie Collins, the most hits ever for a second baseman, 3,313.
That's amazing when you think that there's been 19,412 players in the history of Major League Baseball to put on a Major League uniform. And there's only, what'd you guys say, 134 second basemen in the history of the game?
That's what you heard?
165.
165.
Well, I'm
Do you know what,
researching here too.
Hey, one of your old teammates got to that number.
I think I got it.
Bounced up there. 2-2. Who do you got?
Jamie Carroll.
Jamie Carroll finished his career, had one of the biggest swings of the bat in the history of the franchise. He finished his career at 1,000 even.
That's cool. We always tease Garrett Atkins on pretty much an evening broadcast. He finished his career with 99 homers.
That ball's line foul. Well, should have given that home run in game 163. It actually went over the fence, didn't it?
It did. He likes to count his World Series homer.
I'm good with that.
I'll give it to him.
Of course.
Just doesn't say that on Baseball Reference.
Well, it also has you for 299 season, my friend.
I hit 300 in 2007.
2-2. DJ hops back to the bag. 1 out, 1 on.
I think both of us entered 163, hitting 300. Neither of us finished there.
Yeah, we didn't
You
celebrate
had the
as
same
much.
thing happen?
Yeah, but and we both. I think combined we went 0 for 9 in that game.
So many people still upset with you guys over that.
We wanted JC at the
Cargo's
end,
gone. 2 outs. That'll bring up Trevor Story. Trevor last year when Buehler came up hit a home run against him. Here's what it looked like.
That is what an unstoppable force and a movable object meet right there. That's power versus power.
Trevor last night 1 for 4. Last night was unusual. Trevor struck out 3 times last night, not striking out at nearly the rate he did a year ago. And we've discussed that quite a bit. It's why his average is about 70 points higher than last year. Leads the National League in total bases. Leads the National League with 75 extra base hits. And this is up the middle and knocked down by Dozier. Out still at second base, according to Jeff Nelson. DJ's kind of hanging around the bag as if to say, you better look at this. Dozier knocked it down. Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. More from the Drunken Hearts.
Those buildings I'm standing, even though folks ain't worked there in forever. The job's washed up from the Ohio to the Mississippi River.
Slider on the back door, strike 1 on Matt Kemp. They got a nice sound, really.
They do.
They have a good sound. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Freeland gave up a base hit to Turner. Dozier started the game lining out to DJ, who was positioned perfectly up the middle, and then Machado grounded into a 1-4-3 double play.
With that, that was the 22nd double play that Kyle Freeland has managed to get, which ties him for the National League lead.
And he's been involved in a few this year. He's an outstanding fielder. 2-1. Good off-speed pitch. 2-2. This is a dandy right here, Corey.
Yeah, and I think for Kyle Freeland, this pitch he's really introduced this year is that changeup. And I mean, when you pitch in as effectively as he has, as Spilly said, right-handers just get inside conscious.
See ya on the outside corner, strike 3. Laz Diaz having a conversation with Matt Kemp, 1 out. Now I'll say this, fellas, if he gets this pitch all night, it's going to be a long night for the Dodgers.
I think we'd be flashing back to Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game. I mean, that's over the white chalk of the left-handed batter's box. But that's what Kyle Freeland can do, is open up that outer half of the plate with his pitching inside the way he does.
David Freese, Cardinal and Pirate, old time on the West Coast. Now back on the West Coast. Here's the 1-0, and Freese fouls it off his leg. 1-1. told Charlie today, I said it's the first time I've ever seen a guy have a 6-0 count last night and have to go back to the dugout.
It's not
ninth
often.
inning at bat.
It's not often you get to see Charlie Blackmon, who's pretty cool, calm, and collected, get so demonstrative.
Here's a strike. But you know what? It's baseball. Rockies were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They had their opportunities, didn't take advantage. Whether you like the strike zone or not, they ended up walking 9 and hitting a batter. So you move on. Today's a new day. 1-2 on Freeze. This low, 2-2.
The Dodgers bench is still barking at Laz Diaz. You can see in the background Matt Kemp hot, conversing with several of the coaching staff.
3-2. No score, 1 out in the second. That last start that Kyle had in San Diego, where he ended up going 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. That just showed you how tough a guy he is, because he really didn't have much command, but he gutted his way through. This will be a DJ tough. This is the epitome of a guy with soft hands.
Yeah, you have to have soft hands, because when you watch this last hop before DJ fields the baseball, looks like it comes up a little bit on him, and he's got good enough and soft enough hands to react to it, give it a little bit with it. You can tell by the heavy exhale right there, that was a tough hop. Sets his feet, makes a good throw to Ian Desmond.
I don't care about the awards and so forth, and I know we're biased, and I'll openly admit that. We're also biased because we watch the Rockies play every day. We get a good feeling for our division, the NL West. There may be guys as good. I know Javi Baez is a phenomenal athlete at second. You cannot defend the position better than he does.
No,
I'm not saying there aren't some guys that are in that conversation. You can't be better than he plays the position.
No, and I think you heard Charlie call DJ his baseball compass, right?
Yep.
There's a reason he's so good on defense, and to me, the best defensive players are the ones with the best instincts. They react differently, they anticipate the ball, and I think for DJ, that's one of the things he does so well, is he reads a swing path, anticipates the baseball, and gets an early break.
Just missed. 2-2 on Hernandez. Kike's played every position for the Dodgers this year except catcher. He's actually gotten on the mound this year. 3-2.
Many true Dodger fans wear t-shirts that say "Let Kike catch."
It would only happen in a significant blowout. Actually, I don't even know if it would happen. That's down low, and here's why. You tell him to get on the mound in a blowout, that sort of thing, and be smart. Don't try to throw it 100 miles an hour. Stay safe. But if you put the gear on a guy that's never done it, you are risking significant injury.
Yeah, there's honestly no way. It's just not smart. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong behind the plate that you don't have the instincts for, and you're ill-equipped for. Foul balls, balls in the dirt, just things that are dangerous. And they may want him back there, but I think in the long run it'd be dangerous.
Line drop by Taylor, base hit. 2 on with 2 outs for the catcher Barnes. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, at home, Kyle Freeland's season is conjuring up memories of what Ubaldo did in that fantastic 2010 year. He was 9-2 that year at Coors Field. A 124 whip. Look at the whip this year for Freeland. 115 at home and 18-point lower batting average.
And honestly, both of those numbers shock me because a whip, when you include hits at Coors Field, there are just more hits here. And for him to have that low of a whip at Coors Field just speaks to how good he is and how efficient he is.
Austin Barnes takes a slider for strike one. That's up 1-1. Remember Kyle's major league debut. Home, almost 50,000, and the Dodgers were the opponent. This is in the air towards center. Charlie will get there. That's played by Charlie. No damage done. A 2-out walk, a 2-out single. 2 left on, middle of 2. No score.
Of our Pizza Ranch for the win. Repeat performance. Take you back to August 11th when Ryan McMahon hit a 3-run walk-off bomb off JT Chargois. It was his second in 2 days. He got a fastball down and in, dropped the barrel on it, and the fans went absolutely nuts. Drew, I know you went nuts. I know Spilly got drenched, but it was an absolute blast to watch. And while I hope he doesn't walk him off today, I hope he hits another 3-run bomb.
I'm down with the 3-run bomb.
Yep.
Took a 3-run bomb swing there from David Dahl, but nobody's on base. David, it's hard to throw 4 pitches to David Dahl.
Yeah.
In and at bat. He comes out of the dugout firing. 0-2. Dahl, Desmond, and McMahon against Walker Buehler. Buehler did not spend a lot of time in the minor leagues. First round pick number 24 overall in the 2015 draft by Los Angeles. He moved quickly, arrived last year.
Well, I think once you move this kid quickly, if you're a front office, I think more and more organizations are realizing with pitchers and injury and high velocity that you're better off having them throw the pitches at the major league level versus throwing them in the minor league to risk that injury.
I agree, but not at the cost of what they need to check off before they get to the major leagues. I think it's really important for fastball command. I think secondary pitches, understanding when to use them, because just coming to the major league level and just going, that's not going to do anybody any good.
No, you have to have an idea how to pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know this. You saw a ton of big arms in the minor leagues that never got close to the big leagues for a variety of reasons. So there has to be development along the way.
Agreed, but I think the development process is trumped when it's high velocity.
Now, to me, that would depend on, are you talking about a starter spill, or are you talking about a pen guy?
I think we've seen...
Pen guy can get here quicker.
We've seen that with Jordan Hicks. We just saw that with the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's a pen guy with one pitch. It's 102 miles an hour. I agree with a starting pitcher, but I do believe we're seeing more velocity at a younger age from guys because they don't want to run that risk in minor leagues.
Dahl grounds out to Freeze. One gone. That'll bring up Desmond. Desmond looking for his first hit against Walker Buehler. 0 for 6 in their matchups. Desmond 1 for 4 last night, doubled and scored in the second inning. A hustle double by Ian. Good swing. He has 77 RBIs, and well over half of those have come inside the division. He's been great inside the NL West. Leads the division in runs batted in with 45. Paul Goldschmidt is next with 44. Trevor Story third on that list with 41. 2 strikes on Desmond. Nolan fifth. They're getting after it already down in Phoenix, boys. 2-1 Atlanta in the second inning. And this is up the middle, and Machado will throw out Desmond. 2 pretty good arms on the hill for those respective teams. That's Julio Duran and Clay Buchholz down in Phoenix. Fans, when the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. 2 gone. And here is Ryan McMahon. Takes down low.
I think the Rocks will get a look at Clay Buchholz when the Diamondbacks come into town, obviously, next week. And I think he's really benefited from having a guy like Zach Greinke be able to talk to him after, I mean, he's struggled for a few years now.
Actually, Greinke's last outing was Greinke who really struggled, but I get your point. About a guy who's been there, done that. Zach Greinke, also a guy that's made the transition from being a high velocity guy, a power pitcher, to now more of a very effective finesse type of pitcher. He tops out around 90 now.
Yeah, he's got a little cutter that he works on, and he absolutely loves front door and changeups, whether it's to lefties or to righties.
Two balls, 2 strikes on McMahon. Buehler in his last outing faced Arizona, and in 6 1/3 he gave up a run on just 2 hits. This is on the ground. Diving stop. Dozier makes a good play. Rockies 3 ground balls. They're done in the second. We move on to the third. No score between the Rockies and the Dodgers. nights. Good night. Thoughts, comments, questions, photos. Use Twitter. Include the hashtag Troy to Talk. And everybody that tweets at Spilly, he makes a promise to promptly get back to them. Everybody.
Oh, great.
And an autographed baseball.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1 on Bueller. That's 0-2 on Bueller. Spilly, I did see on Twitter either early today or late last night, I cannot recall accurately. Did you wear your rally boots last night, and do you have them on today?
Come on.
That's what I thought.
Of course I wore the rally boots. Look, I'm not flexible, but here, see? They're always on.
Right.
It's 5-1 in September. Relax.
Not a baby. Good.
Yeah.
And when you go up to your rally seat, if necessary, later on tonight, you may be sitting on somebody's lap again, which you've done before.
I'll be fine with that if it gets some runs.
2-2.
It's like when a parent asks a kid if they wash their hands after every day at school.
Bueller's gone. That's strikeout number 2. I don't know where you're going with this. Time for the Coors Light refreshing finish. Kyle Freeland, last start against the Dodgers, punched out a career best 10. Great sound.
It is a great sound, and what was amazing is as we came out of the highlight, it was the exact same pitch to one of the exact same hitters.
That's right. Brian Dozier swings and misses 0-1. 79 degrees, man. It is gorgeous out. I love Colorado every month of the year, but April's a little iffy for me. It's just a little too much.
This
rain.
April, well,
yeah, it was bad.
this April was bad.
But the Rockies haven't had a postponement all year. But is there anything better than fall in the Rocky Mountains?
There is not much better than fall, but I cannot wait to see how many rain delays we have now.
I don't know.
No, we're good. Trust me, we're good. We're good. You don't get a lot of precipitation in September. I've lived here almost longer than y'all have been alive. Not quite. 1-2. Sign on Dozier, 2-2. So you're up in the foothills a bit, Corey. I noticed my wife and I were out for a bike ride the other day. Trees are starting to turn up top.
We've got an entire street of trees that have turned up by the house.
Wow. He went. See ya. 2 outs.
And it's amazing, you know, the formula for Kyle Freeland and how it's so effective, just hammering these right-handed hitters in. And Spilly, you had it dead on. It just makes you so inside conscious. You got to try and cheat to get there. And that's a little cutter, a little cut fastball elevated above the hands. Not a whole lot that Brian Dozier can do right there. And you know, I can't stop his swing either.
The pitch for me, for Kyle, has been the changeup. That has opened up both sides of the plate for him. Because he's always had the cutter down and in. But the changeup now forces the hitter to stay on a portion of the plate. Can't just look hard in or hard away.
Good pitch. So he's ahead of Turner, 0-2. Turner had a single in the first inning against him. Turner's now 11 for 18. Almost to the point where you yell, fastball, slider. Let him know, right?
Yep, I mean 11 for 18 is, I don't want to say dominance, but I feel like that's some ownership.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of, because for me, this is one of the best hitters in the game.
6'11" average is, that's RBI baseball numbers.
No, but you know, season in, season out, he's battled some injuries and stuff. Spilly, this is a tough out.
This is a guy that, if we were to rank National League hitters who do not want to see coming up with the game on the line, I would say Justin Turner's in the top 3.
I would agree with you. 1-2. And he got him this time in the dirt. Ionetta will clear himself. That's a dominant inning from Kyle Freeland. We are used to seeing that. He punches out the side in the third. Freeland's guys love it. RM to cast your vote. This is fun every night. I hope you guys are enjoying it all season long. There was a game between the 07 and 2018 Rockies clubs. Which team would win? Well, we have two guys that were on the 07 team. This ball's well hit right center. Chris Iannetta has done it. A home run off Walker Buehler, and it is 1-0. Is he on fire quietly or what?
He is very, very quietly on fire, and right center field is just getting beat up by Chris Iannetta. 10th homer of the season. He gets first pitch, but I mean, Drew, we were talking about it last night when he hit the single off the right field wall. He gets that first pitch fastball. They wanted it away, ran back over the heart of the plate. Sponge gets the barrel of the bat there. Drives it up into the stands for a souvenir, and the Rocks are up 1-0. He gets a big hug from Gerardo.
All right, which Iannetta does the 2018 or 2017 get? He's on both of them.
Don't forget, we got Maddie, too.
You got
which Iannetta? You know what's interesting for Iannetta, he spoke to me about a week ago. He said he felt his swing. He felt something with his foot. And Corey, you can talk about this too. Whenever you land hard on your front foot and you don't reach out, as hitters, you try to reach out with your front foot. Let it go and glide in front. That's what allows that soft landing, and that's something that the adjustment has been made for Chris. He was just landing so hard on the front foot.
It's really remarkable. The last 4 balls he's hit, you could throw a blanket over him almost.
Yeah.
The one in San Diego and the 3 here on this homestand. So Freeland goes down, 1 out, a run in. And that'll bring up Blackman.
I think he finally started doing those tricep pull downs, though, because he was hitting the ball off the wall so much, he got tired of it. He said, I'm going to go about 15 feet further.
I've said this many times. You know, you can look at the different bodies in Major League Baseball, right? Chris Iannetta shows up, and you go, catcher. Right?
Well,
he's got the widest back in baseball.
Which is why we call him Sponge.
Yes. And he is a strong dude. 0-1 on Charlie. And that's in the strike zone. 2 strikes on Charlie, who leads the National League in runs scored with 100. Last year he led with 137. 2 outs. Strikeout number 3 for Buehler.
We're going to take one more look at that home run by Chris Iannetta. StatsCast AI is powered by AWS. Exit velocity 98.4, launch angle of 27 degrees, projected distance of 386 feet. And the Rocks are up 1-0. He gets some high fives. It's good to see for Chris.
Well, let's see how the math plays out too. When the Rockies score first, they're 45-15. That's 30 games over 500. When the Dodgers are scored on first, they're 15-39. Maybe a solo shot, but it does put the statistics in the Rockies' favor.
So you're saying there's a chance.
The other stat I like that bears repeating every time he has the baseball, just keeps getting better. Last 11 starts for Kyle Freeland, the Rockies are 10-1. This is down the line. That's a, oh wow, I'm not so sure. Oh, we have a bad angle. The guy who made the call, Nick Marley, had a better angle. No argument from DJ. I thought this was ticketed for extra bases. Watch, got to go over the bag. Nope, didn't. He was all over it. Good call.
He tried to use the English to get it back.
Yeah, did you see that second hop?
Yeah.
Well, it hit in foul territory to begin with.
No, but then it came back a little bit. That's what Corey's talking about. Freese moves a half step closer to the line.
We got to get back to this poll question.
Oh yeah. So Holiday and Iannetta, you guys on the 07 team. So who pitches?
Well, that's the key. Is we need to know starters for both. So we'll let you go with that.
Well, you know, in fairness, you're going to go with the ones. All right. So you're going to go Boomer in 07.
Franny versus Freeland.
And it would be Franny versus Freeland.
Well,
Corey's
yeah,
really
I'm on the
bench. Corey's mad at me because had we gotten a right-hander, he gets to play, and Spilly's on the bench. So we went left-handers, so Spilly's in.
I'm a late-game defensive replacement for Spilly.
Exactly. 2 lefties. 2-2. 3-2.
I'll say this about that question. The 2018 is much more talented.
2018.
Yes.
Far more athletic.
Far more athletic.
Far more fuel coming out of the bullpen.
And a walk. The DJ on for the second time of the ball game. That will allow Cargo to hit here.
It would be a phenomenal game to watch, I will say, though, because that 07 team, and Spilly, you know, just found ways to win.
Yeah, they weren't going to quit on you. And not saying that 2018 would. It's just so hard to compare teams in eras because the game has changed. It's changed drastically in the last 10 years if you just think about velocity. There's more pitchers now, about 120 more pitchers now throwing over 95 miles an hour than there was in 2007.
Which means Spilly couldn't hit.
It means my governor would get blown up.
This ball's hit to center field and deep. Did Cargo catch enough of it? Not quite. Looks like Kike Hernandez made the catch and talked a little trash back at a fan. So Cargo gave it a ride about 410 feet. Iannetta gave one a ride about 386 feet. And it was enough to give the Rockies a 1-0 lead. Baseball on AT&T Sports Center is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Dish Network, better TV for all. Look at that swing.
That wasn't my swing.
Kavnar made that putt yesterday, and she makes that putt every single time.
So there's no joke. Her first putt was from the back of that green. She had about a 90-foot two putt. And she made par.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's an athlete.
Yeah.
Manny Machado in the fourth with the Rockies up 1-0. And that pitch just off the outside corner. Machado, Kemp, David Freese. Two now down in Arizona between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Machado hit a comebacker, and Kyle turned it into a 1-4-3 double play. And another jam shot, this time at DJ, 1 out. Second time Machado's had his bat broken by Kyle.
Well, last time I was here, or he was here, he broke it over his knee twice, if you recall.
That's right. Freeland's not breaking your bat, I'll break it myself.
Yeah.
Best ERA in season Rockies all time. Jimenez finished that great 2010 season at 288. Kyle Freeland sitting on a 296 on September the 8th. You know what I'm proud of on that list? You guys' old teammate Jolie Chassin.
Yeah.
Chassin looked like he may be out of baseball.
He's had quite the resurgent year.
And he had a good year with San Diego last
Yeah.
year. Terrific for the Brewers. Good man. Here's the 0-1, swung on and missed. 0-2 on Kemp, who was called out on strikes. And of course, the most impressive statistic of all, I think, with Kyle Freeland this year is the 2.27 home ERA. Who says you can't pitch here?
I think one of the biggest keys, again, for Kyle Freeland is understanding how hitters think when they come to Coors Field. I mean, you take batting practice here and you hit 60% of your balls out of the yard, you're going to be hyper aggressive. So feed on that aggression.
Close. 2-2. Real quick, final thought on Chassin. He's 14-6 with a 359 this year. And that's a pitcher's, excuse me, that's a hitter's park, Miller Park, as you guys well know.
It is a hitter's park, and he's one of the reasons that they're in that wild card in that NL Central race.
2-2 fouled off by Kemp.
I will say that Chassin will end up, especially in Rockies franchise history, as being considered having the best slider out of any starting pitcher that the Rockies have ever had. He has one of the best sliders that we've ever seen from a Rocky start.
Kemp fouls it off. Well, if you were using that pitch and trying to rank in baseball who's number one, I'd start with Corey Kluber. But somewhere on the list is Chassin.
I mean, Chris Sale's up there.
Yep.
You're right. Chassin, it's filthy. Like Patrick Corbin might be on that list.
Yeah, or Patrick Corbin
yeah.
for lefty. There isn't a pitch in baseball that has more swing and miss than Patrick Corbin's slider. But I think in our team's history, our franchise history that we've witnessed, Chassin has to be number one.
3-2 on Kemp. And pulled it. McMahon. Good pickup by Ryan and a perfect throw. That was not an easy play. That was hit quickly.
And for Ryan McMahon at third base, he's done a phenomenal job when he's had to fill in for Nolan Arenado this year. A couple quick steps to his left, soft hands as well, sets his feet, throws a strike. It's good enough to get another look. That happened so fast, I'm not sure he could track that ball all the way into his glove.
That ball was hit. 2 outs. David Freese, 2011. That's going to be a base hit. MVP in the NLCS and also the World Series for the Cardinals. Third hit for the Dodgers tonight. Now bring up Kike Hernandez. He walked his first time. Freeland, a lefty who throws off the extreme third base side of the rubber. When you noticed that, Corey, as a left-handed hitter, what were you thinking?
Well, it makes everything he throws on the outer half feel like it's 6 miles away, and anything he throws on the inner half feels like the angle he's creating. There's nothing you can do as a left-handed hitter. I mean, when he throws a slider to a lefty, it feels like it's coming at you and then it breaks away. And everything in your head it puts you in a rocking chair. You lean back when you see the slider and you can't do anything.
Good pitch, 1-2.
That's such a great point, Corey. Lefties are hitting 175 against Kyle. Righties are hitting 257, but when you think of the Dodgers lineup, all righties, it's a 231 team batting average against lefties. So Kyle has the Dodgers so far in the rocking chair as well.
2-2. Going back to that 07 season, I assume the answer to this question, I'm making this like Jeopardy, was Jeff Francis. But the guy who every time you guys went to play defense, the day blank pitch, you just felt like we're going to win today.
Fog.
Fog, okay. Swung out and missed a strikeout of Hernandez. 5 strikeouts for Kyle Freeland. The TJ grab looking like he always does. Looking good. Rockies up 1-0. Home runs by Rocky shortstop Tulo back in 2009 hit 32. Got a feeling that's going to go down here in September. Trevor, after the 3-homer performance on Wednesday against the Giants, has 31. He owns a home run against Walker Buehler a year ago. If you're wondering about RBIs for a shortstop in Rockies history, Tulo has that figure as well. 2011, he drove in 105. You hope that Story eclipses that mark also. Nothing against Tulo, of course, just it would be good for the Rockies overall. See Story continue his MVP caliber season. That is pulled at the third baseman Turner. 1 out. A lot of ground balls off of Walker Buehler tonight. Coming up, David Dahl. Hey, big congratulations this afternoon to the University of Colorado. So good to see them play Nebraska again. I love the Nebraska football program. I think they're going to do great things under Scott Frost coming back there. It was a heck of a game. Went down to the wire. CU broke up a pass in the end zone. at the Final Horn in Colorado, beat Nebraska in a renewal of their rivalry. First time they've gotten together since 2010, 33-28. That's one I miss. You know, with the realignment, fellas, of the conferences, just to talk about college football for 1 second, I miss when Texas played Oklahoma, or excuse me, played A&M every year. There's a base hit for Dahl. And Colorado played Nebraska. Dahl's going to turn it up on Kemp. Double. You don't think that was a page out of Ian Desmond yesterday, just watching him play?
We talk about these guys busting out of the box, but now with all the defensive shifts that go on, the Dodgers have really started moving around their outfielders, and Matt Kemp is playing really deep and in the right center field gap. As soon as David Dahl saw that he had to move that far laterally to his left, he never hesitated. He busted it out of the box, and he got to second in a hurry.
I like the psyche of the Rockies. They're taking it to the Dodgers. This is your opportunity. Dodgers have won 5 straight divisions. If you're trying to do a changing of the guard, this is how you play. You have to be aggressive.
Strike one on Desmond. He was a focal point of Buddy Black throughout spring training. Run the bases more aggressively. Look to steal bags. The Rockies are a completely different unit from a year ago in terms of stolen base, the number they've stolen, their success rate, 0-2. And they lead baseball right now in taking the extra base. In other words, like that, we're going first to third on base hits. Yeah, Desi had a leg double yesterday, paid off. He scored a run after that. See if Dahl can reach home plate here.
Another look at David coming out of the box. You see it, the first step. He knows he can't hesitate, so he doesn't. And just like Spilly said, they're taking the fight to the Dodgers. That's why they're here, right, Spilly?
That's what you want.
Base hit the other way. Dahl get a green light on Kemp. Kemp's throw toward the plate is cut off. And the run scores out at second is Desmond trying to move up. But Desi comes through with 2 strikes and makes it 2-0. 46th RBI in the National League West for Desmond. His 78th overall. David Dahl's hustle paid off.
It did, and this is what you're talking about. Taking that extra base from David Dahl pays off immediately with Ian Desmond getting a fastball up in the zone, staying on top of it, and driving it the other way. He's been doing this so much this season, using the big part of the field, going the other way. You get a perfect angle here. He's running right in David Freese's face, forces him to cut that ball off regardless of the play at the plate.
Ryan McMahon at the plate. Tell you what, Spilly, you have a unique angle on it because obviously Desi was to your open side. That pitch was a high 90s fastball that was chest high. That's tough to get on top of.
It's a top hand that is so important on a pitch that high with velocity. You have to get your hand on top of the baseball.
I think one of the keys for hitting high velo fastballs up too is not trying to match it with power. Slowing down, actually. Don't overswing.
One and two it remains on McMahon. David Dahl, leg double, sprinted home on the base hit by Desmond. 2-0 Colorado. And McMahon chops one to Dozier. Through 4th, the Rockies a 2-0 lead on Los Angeles. Middle game of a 3-game set. Pretty big series, I believe.
rosters, and with the expanded rosters, the Dodgers are able to use a right-handed heavy lineup. We asked Bud Black today if that has any effect on Kyle Freeland.
You know, there's the thought of some pitchers that, you know, when you get guys on both sides, it can be a little disconcerting, but this is you know, an all heavy right-hand lineup is a non-factor as far as how you feel your comfort level.
But Black went in to continue on that conversation, saying, you know, for some guys, once you start seeing the same hitter over and over again, there is 9 right-handed batters in tonight's lineup. It gets you locked in. You don't have to worry about a lefty coming in and resetting your sights. Kyle's been able to work with Ionetta all night on one set of sights with almost a similar approach to every right-hander.
Fouled off by Chris Taylor. You know, the numbers against lefties are outstanding for Freeland, but with the league hitting just 175 against him, the sample size keeps getting smaller and smaller.
It does. It does. And it's interesting when we're talking about Kyle Freeland and, you know, some of the Dodgers lefties, because a couple of them have got really good numbers in one game, in one small of that sample size. Cody Bellinger's hitting 667. He went 2 for 3. And then you've got Jock Peterson hitting 750, who went 3 for 4 against him. But that being said, since August 10th, only one lefty's gotten a hit off Kyle.
Center field, pretty well hit. Charlie doesn't have a play. Taylor makes it a 2-1 game. 15th home run for Chris Taylor. Leadoff home run in the 5th.
Little slider from Kyle Freeland. They're wanting it in under the hands. It's left out over the plate. Chris Taylor hits it out to center field. That is now the 18th home run that Kyle Freeland has given up, and it's the 17th solo shot.
That says something, doesn't it?
Yep.
One strike on Austin Barnes, 2 strikes on Austin Barnes.
It's a good example of the Dodgers offense is they're going to take their big swing on all pitches on all counts. We saw Cody Bellinger make a 2-strike approach adjustment last night, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think outside of him and Turner, it's they sell out for the one thing they do well.
This offense is very similar to the Oakland A's. High walk rate, high slugging percentage, low batting average. And it works.
Well, the Dodgers have the 2nd most home runs in baseball. They lead the National League by a considerable margin over St. Louis. The Yankees came into today with 230 home runs. That's strike 3 on Barnes. I don't know if all those Yankee home runs should count, because the ones that are hit to right field, come on now.
So I've taken BP. I've played in that stadium, and this is me who owns 10 major league homers. I was hitting balls in the 3rd deck in batting practice. Spilly, you know that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't go 3rd deck.
There's a strike on Walker Buehler, 0-1.
You go Dodge Charger.
I just like to needle some of the other stadiums a little bit, because Coors Field always
when it
takes abuse.
Well, why don't you get after Houston for a second then?
The Crawford boxes. One.
When it comes to home runs, new Yankee Stadium, Philly, Cincy, Milwaukee. I mean, those stadiums, Philly, you know.
2-2.
Chris Taylor's home run was hit 105 miles an hour. That was squared up, and he earned it.
Yep. Hit it 440 feet.
It's not a cheap home run.
In the air, down the right field line. Car goes, not going to have a play.
I hope Kyle Freeland and Walker Buehler match up every single time the Dodgers and Rockies play against each other.
This is competition at its best.
3-2. Ground ball towards short. Nice pickup. Story spinning, throwing perfectly. 2 outs. Another terrific play by Story.
The NL West race is closer than ever. Catch the Rockies take on the D-backs Monday through Thursday. Purchase your tickets at Rockies.com.
It remains 2-2 in the 4th inning. 2-2, I should say, in the 4th inning. Arizona and Atlanta. Hey, Jorge Lopez of Kansas City has a perfect game in Minnesota through 7 1/3. How about that?
It's almost every night.
Here's Dozier.
7 1/3. That's getting down to crunch time. It's the ones when we get the alerts and it's the 4th inning. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, 89 pitches too. Low pitch total so far for Lopez. Dozier takes a strike on the 81st pitch from Kyle Freeland. And so you know, the major league average is about 17.1 pitches per inning. So Kyle, is in that 16 pitch per inning area right now, depending on what happens obviously with Dozier. Three and one. On the ground to third. Nice convenient hop from McMahon. In the inning, a solo home run to dead center by Chris Taylor puts the Dodgers on the board. It's Colorado 2, Los Angeles 1. Beautiful Saturday night at Coors Field. Packed house. It's the Rockies. It's the Dodgers. Colorado up 2-1. Chris Iannetta will lead things off in the 5th. And that is line down the left field line. Stay warm, Iannetta. A home run to right, a double to left. Rockies back in business.
I love the counter punch after giving up the home run to Chris Taylor. Iannetta comes back up and answers. He gets a curveball that's hung up in the zone. He gets the bat head out. Get a good angle down the left field line. And he gets himself a leadoff double. The Rockies right back in it.
Well, yeah, last night the Rockies failed an opportunity to score with the runner at third base with less than 2 outs. Kyle Freeland is going to sacrifice bunt. The Rockies cannot fail tonight. These are these margins for error that you cannot get away with when you're playing a good team.
And against a great arm. And in the last 2 months, the league's hit just 161 against Walker Buehler. So to your point, Spilly, you gotta make sure you execute. I don't think he went. No, put a slug bunt on, but he was a little tardy to get the bat back to have it go forward. Fortunately, it was out of the zone.
When you're sack bunting in this situation or slug bunting, you've got to be very decisive.
And he pulled that back and was in there. 1-2. Kyle will study Stu Cole. The third base coaches, you know, in the off season when they go home, I mean, is that how they
train?
Is that what they do with their
they
family?
Totally
they communicate with them?
They do a lot of charades.
Yeah. And Kyle's gone, so he fails to move Iannetta. Now the top of the order represented by Charlie Blackmon, who so far is 0 for 7 in the series. He came into the series extremely warm at the plate.
We're going to take a look at Chris Iannetta's swing one more time from the side. I'm going to have Corey telestrate. Look at his front foot. It's reaching out now. Before he was just landing hard. See how it goes out? That allows his weight to stay back, his head to stay still, and he's able to catch up to a curveball or fastball depending on where that pitch location is.
I think one of the big things for Iannetta that he's talked about with his change is that unweighting of the back foot. You know, he said for years he thought it was so important for him to sit back on that back foot even when he made contact, but to unanchor it and to let his momentum carry him into contact.
You know who did that well in your guys' era? He's still in Major League Baseball. He's been hurt quite a bit. Is Troy Tulowitzki.
Yep.
Two 2-0 on Charlie. We'll talk about the impact of coaches. Going back to that David Dahl double, just putting it in the mind of your players on the scouting report that Kemp doesn't throw like he used to, doesn't move like he used to. This ball high and deep right field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Charlie Blackmon with a 2-run blast. How pretty was that flight?
That was a majestic home run, and it was loud off the bat. We've seen Charlie start heating up as of late. He unloaded on that baseball. He gets a little cutter. Those are one of the pitches that goes the absolute furthest. They wanted it backdoored to Charlie. It was right down the middle. Charlie gets the bat head out. He gets a nice high draw, and I hope he yelled 4.
That thing went 442 feet. Spilly, remember just a couple of days ago, me, you, and Huey were talking about this? That because Charlie was throwing out a bunch of hits, and we said the next thing that's going to happen is the ball's going to start flying over the wall again.
Well, you just have your confidence. You start getting in your legs. You're limiting your head movement. Whenever a hitter gets locked in at the plate, it's because his mechanics and his timing are right. When you have your timing and your mechanics right, you get a pitch in your wheelhouse, typically you don't miss it.
4-1 Rockies. 1-2 on LeMahieu.
Well, that's one way to get a runner in from second base. I like it.
I've never not seen the runner score from second on a ball that
Lands in the second deck.
It's never not happened. First home run since August the 24th for Chuck Nasty. 24th of the year. 2 outs. Corey, you have the stats on that?
I do. Time for the Subaru Stats Cast for Charlie Blackmon. 107.4 miles per hour, 32-degree launch angle, 442 feet later. I think it might have gone a little bit further because it actually came back. Is that taking it away, or are they adding to it?
Who knows sometimes with these StatCast numbers?
Can't answer that.
Either way, it went a very long way.
Cargo in his last at bat hit the ball a long way to center field. Caught in front of the wall by Kike Hernandez. For a moment I thought he had hit one out to center. Big swing, 1-1. So the Rockies have hit a couple of home runs tonight against Walker Buehler. Iannetta, and now Charlie. Three straight innings the Rockies have scored off of Buehler after the first 2 in which they did not score. Breaking pitch misses, 2-2. Rockies 6-8 against the Dodgers this year. Last year they won the season series against a Dodger team that won 104 games. Ended up going to Game 7 of the World Series. They won the season series 10-9. Cargo's gone. If they're to win the season series this year, it'd be the first time in Rockies history that they won the season series in back-to-back years against LA. They're up 4-1 thanks to the Rockies all-star center fielder Charlie Blackmon.
Experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rockies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
1 strike on Justin Turner. Top of inning number 6. Rockies up 4-1, and that's a soft liner handled by Trevor Story. Turner is retired, 1 out.
Well, before Justin Turner lined out right there, I was going to say this is an important inning for the Rocks and Kyle Freeland. with Charlie Blackmon hitting that home run, getting up 4-1. I think it'd be a big statement inning to get the team back into the dugout as fast as possible and give them another opportunity to get on the board.
Yeah, I like your thinking, and as fast as possible would mean a minimum of pitches, which would give him a strong opportunity for Buddy to have him handle the 7th inning, and then you shorten that workload on the back end. One out. Here's Machado. Twice has broken Manny's bats. Not the same one. He used a different one, and now he's probably got a new one also. 1-0. 1-1 on Machado.
I was gonna say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I thought that was too easy for Kyle.
Yeah. You're usually wittier than that. Usually.
I went with the Spilly pun.
Just go for the low-hanging fruit.
2 balls and a strike on Machado. The Rockies 37 and 31 at home. Of course, they're 26-11 at home their last 37 games. Completely turned it around here in Lodo. There's a good pitch. 2-2.
I was looking at the Dodgers and the Rockies, and they were both interesting because the Dodgers are 39 and 36 at home, which is surprising, just like the 37-31 record for the Rockies at home. 10 games over 500, though, the Dodgers are on the road. They're 38-28. And again, the Rockies 40 and 32, tied for a franchise best with 40 road wins.
Only the Cardinals have more wins on the road in the National League. 3-2 on Machado. And he walks him with 1 out. That'll bring up Kemp, who's retired twice. Looking at a called 3rd strike and on a ground ball to 3rd. 1 out, 1 on. What a crowd tonight for the Rockies and Dodgers. I mean, this looks like one of those SRO deals. They're about 6 deep up on the rooftop. Everywhere you look, there's a body and a seat. Get the official attendance in a little bit. The rooftop rocking earlier with the Drunken Hearts playing up there. This is always the place to be, and it is especially now the place to be, with the Rockies in first place in the NL West, pursuing their first ever division crown. I like this meeting here. After a walk, first pitch missed to Kemp. Chris Iannetta is going to counsel Kyle Freeland.
It's one of those where slow him down, catch his breath, trying to rush a little bit out there. Just settle him down, get back in the rhythm.
Fouled off. Matt Kemp always instills fear in the opposition when he steps up. He's done a ton of damage historically against the Rockies. However, these days, if he hits it on the ground, got a real good chance at double play. There's a good pitch, 1-2.
You know, Jenny mentioned the fact that he second most home runs ever as a visiting player at Coors Field since 2016 versus the Rocks. 350, 9 homers in just 27 games.
1-2, swung on, foul tip held by Iannetta. Second out here in the 6th. It's the 7th strikeout for Mr. Freeland.
Well, we love watching Kyle Freeland. I was curious what this pitch was. Great bite through the zone. Whenever we pay attention to Kyle Freeland, we understand that he does pitch better at home. Here's a breakdown of his pitch usage. Fastball uses more at home than he does on the road. The changeup is even. The curveball uses it less at home. And the slider he uses it evenly. Both on the road and at home, it's a two-seam. And noticing him tonight, he's used the four-seam fastball 37 times of the 50 pitches that he's used as fastball. So you can understand, he loves his four-seam here at Coors Field.
He's ahead of David Freese now, Spilly, 0-2. 98 pitches. Scott Oberg is up. Oh, 2. Close. 1-2. Freeland has the lowest ERA of any left-handed starter in the National League. It's third lowest of any left-handed starter in all of baseball. That's how good a year he is enjoying. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 8. Safely through the 6th inning. Got a little John Wayne to him walking off the mound, doesn't he?
That's what I meant. I was talking about it earlier. He pitches like a little kid, and when he walks off the mound, he is an absolute man.
Baseball's traveled farther here at Coors Field, and you can travel farther with
I know the guy on the right. That's Brandon Stokely. Help me out, Sully. Who we got on the left there?
I think that's chicken parm. You taste so good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
He's
good.
a commercial guy.
Yeah, he's the Nationwide guy. Okay.
Nationwide is on my side, not yours.
Trevor Story at the plate. Well, this was a moment ago in the dugout, the handshake. Nice job, Kyle Freeland. 100 pitches, 6 innings, a 1-run baseball. He's been something else. 4-1 Colorado. And that's high and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Story. It's Story, Dahl, Desmond here in the bottom half of the 6th. Rockies 4 runs on 6 hits against Walker Buehler. There's always been close ties between Peyton Manning and the Rockies organization. This ball's pulled foul. It goes back to when Peyton was first rehabbing the neck surgery. Keith Duggar helped him out at that point in time, the Rockies head trainer. And of course, Peyton was around here in addition because of his close friendship with Todd Helton. And he still comes around, even though obviously Todd is back at Knoxville.
Well, and you have to remember, I was here for this thing too, and the aspect is the reason why he had to use Keith Duggar. NFL was in the middle of a lockout. The trainers and the doctors were part of the ownership side. So Peyton Manning, after having the neck surgery, wasn't allowed to use any team doctors, and that's how the connection between Keith Duggar and the Rockies came about. I'll never forget going into the batting cage, and we've heard Peyton tell this story, so believe me, it's true. I went down with Todd and Peyton to go watch him throw football. I thought I would run some slants for him. This is his first throw with the football since having neck surgery. The first time he pulled the ball back to make a throw towards me, and I was 3 feet away, he hit himself in the back of the head, and the ball fell on the ground.
I know, it looked like, from everybody who was there and described the early days, looked like there's no way
there
he'll
was
ever
no
play
way he'd ever play again. That was all of our thoughts. Todd and I had a quick glance where he was shaking his head like, don't say anything, Spilly. And it's pretty remarkable to think how far he came, and with his rehab to get himself back, especially knowing that he could throw a football.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Dahl. He doubled and scored in the 4th inning. And he went around. 2 outs. So Scotty Garrett, who's the outstanding top assistant to Doogie. There's Scotty on the left. It's fantasy football time of year, and you guys remember the, I mean, every clubhouse, major league clubhouse, is all in fantasy football. So Peyton Manning's back playing again now at the Broncos, but he was regularly with the Rockies in their clubhouse on off days, that sort of thing. Here's Desmond. Desi had a big hit to drive in a run last time up. And Scotty, before the start of the season, he asked Peyton, he said, hey, give me a sleeper, help me out. And Peyton said, I don't know anything about fantasy football. He goes, just give me a sleeper. Who's going to catch passes in the red zone for touchdowns? And Peyton starts walking out the door. He says, Thomas. And Scotty said to him, he goes, everybody knows about Demaryius Thomas. I need a sleeper. He goes, I didn't say Demaryius Thomas. I said Julius Thomas. And so Scotty drafted Julius Thomas really late in that draft. Nobody had ever heard of Julius Thomas in the room. Julius Thomas, 2 touchdown catches the first game for Peyton that season. He went on to have an extraordinary year. So Peyton, including Scotty, got insider information, which is, some sort of violation, I'm sure. 1-2 and a bouncer to short. And the Rockies are done in order in the 6th. We'll turn the page to inning number 7. The Rockies on a Saturday night in front of a sellout, up 4-1. Takes the baseball tonight. One of the biggest games of the year, and he does his thing. 6 innings, a 1-run baseball. There's 4 hits for the vaunted Dodger offense. 8 strikeouts, couple of walks, 100 pitches even Another quality start, his 20th of the year. On the Rockies' all-time list, he's trying to hunt down Ubaldo, who went 25 in 2010. The playoff year of 2009, he went 24 quality starts. Scott Oberg will handle the 7th, and you're going to see a string of left-handed bats, I'm sure, start to come off the bench for the Dodgers. Here's the first one. Alex Verdugo is going to pinch hit for Kike Hernandez. Remember, they have Muncy, Bellinger, Jock Peterson, Verdugo, obviously, Andrew Tolles, and the old man, Chase Utley.
Yeah, this is about the time you start seeing the line change from Doc Roberts. You get those lefties in the moment a righty reliever came into the game, and Alex Verdugo now up there. He's 1 for 2 against Scott Oberg this year.
Well, Dave Roberts is understandably very confident. He has a very talented team, and he was saying before the ball game that, you know, he likes the matchups late in the game. He has great respect for the Rockies. He has tremendous respect, obviously, for his close friend Buddy Black, but you know, he felt like he would be able to answer what the Rockies would bring in late with their bullpen, with the number of lefties he had. He said it's my job to manage all those guys. Everybody wants to play. When he was asked specifically about, you know, Bellinger, who's normally an everyday guy, swung on and missed. Verdugo's gone. Muncy, who's hit, you know, 30+ home runs. He said, that's my job. He said, everybody wants to play. He goes, but everybody also wants to win a championship. And it's my job to put the guys in the best place to succeed. That's the job of any leader. Bellinger is now going to step up with 1 out. So he'll hit for Taylor. As you said, and I think it's very fitting, man. It's not just a pinch hitter. It's going to be a line change.
It is. And you can see Max Muncy's also come out on deck. What's difficult for this is having the players buy in. You know, that's really, really important because the Dodgers have had their offensive struggles. I think in the last 9 games, they've only scored 4 runs twice.
Pitch a little bit too tall on Bellinger, which is hard to do. He's a big guy, about 6'4" or so. As Diaz says, it's missed, so it's 2-0. Bellinger out of that extreme upright stance. 2-1.
Well, with his extreme upright stance and the way he swings, he's almost like a top. He just whips. He spins basically in a circle. Reminds me of Casey and the Bat, the old cartoon.
2-2. Showed it before. He presets the changeup, and yet it's a pitch that he does not throw all that frequently. 2-2 fastball. 3-2.
Oh, he only throws it 9% of the time.
It remains 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bellinger. This has kind of been one of those under the radar really good stories, especially in the second half for the Rockies and why they've been successful. The work of Scott Oberg. And he loses Bellinger. 1 out, 1 on. And that'll bring up Muncy.
The first 10,000 fans through the gates for the Rockies vs. D-backs game on Thursday will receive a coupon for a $1 Nathan's Famous hot dog. They'll also get to participate in a hot dog eating contest with Ryan Spilbergs.
Sandwich eating contest with Ryan Spilbergs.
Nope. Sandwich has 2 pieces of bread.
They have to be split it in half.
But it's not.
So Muncy pinch hitting for Barnes. On the outside corner for a strike. And here comes the 4th lefty in the on-deck circle, Jock Peterson.
And there is no movement in the Rockies bullpen. But he's not looking to counter with his lefties. Feels completely safe with Scott Oberg facing this part of the Dodgers lineup. Let him unload the bench with the lefties.
The Rockies don't really have a matchup lefty right now. And even when Jake McGee is going good, Jake's a guy that can get a full in, get righties and lefties when things are going well. But, when the Rockies had Boone Logan, there's no lefty specialist per se down there. Of course, Mike Dunn is lost for the season. Mike battling shoulder ailment all year. He's going to have surgery here in the next 10 days. One, 2 on Muncy. Mike's such a pro and really one of the biggest leaders in that bullpen. Darren Holmes, he didn't want to come down to the bullpen because he can't play, and he said, "We need you down there." Fouled off. And so Mike's been in uniform and he's been down in that bullpen. Been a tough year for Mike. Had surgery for the first time in his career. There's Darren Holmes with his guys. Two. He went 2 outs. Laz Diaz that he went around. And Muncy hanging around to argue for a moment. That'll bring up Jock Peterson.
Scott Oberg, a high fastball to Muncy right there, and I think if you were to poll the audience, Drew,
it's you know what
I think
on
the
check
rule is
swings,
intent to swing, right? An intent. It's not about crossing the plane. It's not about going halfway. It's an intent to swing.
Yeah, see, I don't buy that. I know that's the official explanation. I'll tell you why I don't buy it after this pitch. 2 outs, Jock Peterson. And this is popped up, long run because of the shift, and I can't get there, nor can Trevor get there. So it's foul pop. Here's why I don't buy that. Your intent is to swing, and then my intent is I don't want to swing. Right. So it doesn't make any sense to me.
Therefore,
you're
every
stopping
check
your swing
would be a non-swing.
Right.
I agree.
That doesn't make sense. And with the naked eye, I don't know how these guys down the first and third base line on the open side, they can tell. No way to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sitting here. I just watched much. I don't know. You could very easily say he didn't go.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's too ambiguous.
I'm glad they said he did, though.
Yes.
1-1.
You were talking about the feel-good story with Scott Oberg. I mean, he has done an incredible job being one of those guys that is the bridge in the bullpen to get to Otto and to get to Davis. And I mean, the last 12 times out, he has been incredible, giving up 6 hits and only 1 run, and that bullpen needed that.
And you like to see, look, the matchups for Scott Oberg on the season, as far as his splits goes, righties are hitting less than 200, lefties are hitting right at 300. And sometimes the math doesn't always play out. But he has been that bridge.
This is popped up, but this is clearly out of play. So it's 2-2 now on Peterson.
Corey, you're like me. Sometimes the math doesn't always suggest what the move you should make. Sometimes you have to trust if the guy's feeling it. Trust your eyeballs.
Two and two with 2 outs. Laz Diaz calls time, and Oberg pantomimes a pitch.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with that. You know, sometimes your gut is the best first instinct, and rather than playing the numbers, you got to go with that.
Did he go? Yes, he did. He struck out the side. Peterson now unhappy with Andy Fletcher.
I think Andy Fletcher just threw out Jock Peterson.
Great inning from Oberg. 4-1 Rockies. Cooney, Lexus look back. Scoreless game. Chris Iannetta, who's been very hot, hits a home run to right field. And then Charlie Blackmon with the Rockies up 2-1, launches one into the second deck, make it 4-1. And of course, there's Kyle Freeland doing his thing. He went 6 innings. He allowed a run. That was a Chris Taylor home run. He struck out 8 Dodgers. In line for his 14th win as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and it's one of the more interesting guys in Major League Baseball out on the hill now for the Dodgers, Pat Venditti, and he has that special glove because Pat throws righty and lefty. He's ambidextrous, and he's going to start out lefty. He has to declare naturally because Ryan McMahon is at the plate. In there for a strike. Take a look at some of the numbers on Venditti. He's been in 9 games this year. This is slowly hit to short. That's actually Turner, so slowly hit to third, but not really.
What I always found interesting with Pat on the mound is I was expecting, you know, pitch repertoire and usage listed at 2 different times, one left-handed, one right-handed, and it's not. You know, fastball, slider change. Seems like he's got the same pitches from both sides. As we see him now, he's right-handed going against Chris Iannetta.
Double tonight for Chris. So here are the changes. Alex Verdugo, he's in left now. Cody Bellinger, without a first baseman's glove, I'm sure, is in center field. Max Muncy with a first baseman's glove at first base, and Grandal's now behind the plate. Drop down slider, 2 strikes. I think when this guy first was in pro ball, it was kind of a novelty act.
Yep.
Good for him. He's got service time with several teams at the big league level.
I mean, you talk about versatility, right? Roster spots at a premium, guys being able to do multiple things. Obviously, he's kind of a trendsetter in that.
Two on Chris. And this ball is toward Bellinger in center. 2 outs. Raimel Tapia is going to get his first plate appearance here in September since he was called back to the big leagues with fairly large contingent of AAA players when their season concluded.
Fans already planning for next season? The Rockies are currently taking deposits for 2019 suites and party facilities. Call 303-ROCKIES today.
Tapia fires at the first delivery.
Did a little research on Vendetti. When he was a child, his father had him throw footballs left-handed and tried to make him ambidextrous. And over time, he strengthened up his left arm enough because he's naturally right-handed.
Inside on Tapia. You guys remember earlier this year when Tapia was up, he hit a grand slam. Obviously spent most of this year in Albuquerque at 302 down in the PCL. 33 doubles, 9 triples, 11 home runs. Stole 21 bases. 2 and 1. Yeah, every once in a while you run across somebody that is ambidextrous, but to be able to throw the ball that well from both sides, I mean, that is truly unique. You know who has the ability to throw with both hands? Pablo Sandoval. And he got on the mound from the right side earlier this year in a blowout. And what was he throwing, in the low 90s?
Yeah, 92 to 94, if I remember. Him and Charlie Culberson.
Charlie touched 95. 2-2.
Pat started throwing left-handed when he was 6 years old, so it's not like all of a sudden he started doing it. I know I talked to Pablo Sandoval about when did he start throwing left-handed as well. He started right about that similar age, 6, 7 years old.
Tapia lifts this ball to left field. Verdugo is there. Rockies go in order in the 7th inning. They have a 4-1 lead. We'll go to the 8th, and that means it's Adam Ottavino time.
about hate.
More from the Drunken Hearts. They're entertaining us during our pregame show with Jenny and Huey up on the rooftop, as well as everybody else up on the rooftop. Haven't gotten the official attendance yet. It's big, though. Rock pile, a seat to be found out there. And everybody enjoying the evening with the Rockies ahead 4-1. They're looking for 6 more outs. And Buddy's going to ask Adam Ottavino to get 3 of them right here in the 8th. 67th appearance for Ottavino. He has had a splendid season in his last outing. He eclipsed the 100 strikeout mark. For a reliever, that's rare territory.
That is rare territory, and a few more outings and he'll run down the Rockies' lead for relievers.
Chase Utley is going to pinch hit for Brian Dozier. 5 straight pinch hitters for the Dodgers. Slider, strike 1. I'm thinking back.
Is that a record?
I wonder. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know, short of a Little League game. I don't know if I've ever seen at the major league level. That's 2 line changes, man. That's the defenseman coming off. That's the forwards coming off. Inside. I don't know if I've ever seen 5 straight pinch hitters in a competitive game.
Yeah, I definitely haven't.
Dodgers have 11 men on their bench. He's 5.
Utley fouls it off. Dodgers have gotten a former Rocky up in their bullpen right now, Zach Rosscup. Top of the order for the Dodgers, but Utley hitting for Dozier. Turner's on deck. They will not hit for him. I guarantee you that. They won't hit for Machado. There's Red Turn, his Twitter handle. 1-2. And Utley, who's got hit a million times, it seems like, in his career, gets plunked there. So Otto ahead, 1-2. The slider got him.
Tomorrow is Dia de los Rockies. All gates open at 11 a.m. and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Los Rockies jersey. Come early for a pregame concert on the rooftop featuring Iz Kali, presented by Coors Light.
Turner tonight, a single, a strikeout, and a soft line drive to short. I said Utley had gotten hit a million times in his career, or so it seemed. I was off by 999,796.
So 204?
204th time he's been hit. 8th all time, though. It's 2-0. Don't create traffic. Two balls and a strike. Utley takes off. That's a strike. Now at second base. Teams do that once in a while. They take advantage of Ottavino's slow delivery.
I think for Chris Iannetta, you could tell what the Rockies' intent was. He never budged. He was holding the strike, trying to make sure they even the count.
2-2 on Turner. Chase Utley has always stolen bases at a high percentage. 87.4% success rate is the highest all time. Don't steal many anymore, but you get the point. 2-2. He's got one out.
Right there. We saw him try and go in with the fastball on the first 2-2 pitch. Justin Turner was able to fight it off. Comes back with a little bit of a harder slider. Well placed down and away from Justin Turner. And he gets the big strikeout right there for the Rocks in the first out of the 8th.
Now Machado. Grounded into a double play. Grounded to DJ and walked. Nothing for 2. Fastball's up and away. Off the corner, 2-0. They're back-to-back 2-0 counts.
Well, we noticed over the last couple outings for Ottavino, the fastball command has not been where it was earlier in the season. We know how filthy the slider is. But the fastball command has allowed Ottavino to have the season he's had.
And that's a pitch he can utilize in any count, and he utilizes that slider, Spilly, to get back in counts as he did a moment ago against Turner. He just does it here against Machado.
Earlier in the evening, we were talking about how Jhoulys Chacín has the best slider as a starter in Rockies franchise history. There's no question Ottavino has the best slider as a reliever in Rockies history.
Yeah, and you have to differentiate. That's why I threw out Corey Kluber right away for the best slider in baseball. But among relievers, Otto's maybe number 1. This is a fly ball toward Cargo and right. 2 outs. That'll bring up Matt Kemp. He's had success against Ottavino. He owns a home run against him, 4 for 7 lifetime. This evening, Kemp is 0 for 3.
I think that's what makes that out with Manny Machado that much more important. With a 3-run lead, keeping that tying run from the plate.
Well, up and down that lineup, we've talked a lot about it. The Dodgers, again, by a handsome amount, lead the National League in home runs. And it's not just, 3 or 4 guys. It's 1 through 8 and guys off the bench who can go deep. So they're always, one swing away if you allow them to have some traffic. David Freese is scheduled to hit next because he's been there, but it looks like if the inning were to continue, it would be Yasiel Puig. Hopefully his presence there will be meaningless. Ottavino will retire Kemp.
I think with all the defensive changes that went on last inning, Venditti was actually hitting in Free's spot. Muncy went to first.
Yeah, let me hear right.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lineup card. It's like
the 405, like Spinner said.
Like when kindergartners get together and they get a half-hour of color outside the lines.
Yes.
Here comes the crowd. 2-strike count on Kemp. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to short. Story's got it. Beautiful inning from Adam Ottavino. Rockies 4, the Dodgers 1, middle of 8. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. We're in the middle of the 8th inning. The Rockies leading the Dodgers 4-1. Quick glance down in Phoenix. No movement in that ball game for several innings. It remains 2-2. The Braves and Diamondbacks. The Rockies will have the top of the order. And Zach Rosscup, who was a Rocky the last year or so. He's on the mound now for LA. Tough against lefties. He's truly a situational guy. And the Rockies have Blackmon and Cargo due up this inning from the left side. DJ sandwiched in between. Chase Utley, he's played second before, and he'll be there here in the 8th inning. He's got some familiarity there.
Yeah, once or twice he's done that.
Yes. And Charlie with one huge swing of the bat in the 5th inning. Tight game, 2-1. And he took a Walker Buehler slider and hit it a mile to right with Iannetta aboard. Rosscup strikes out Charlie, 1 out. It's 9 straight retired by the Dodgers. Last guy to reach was Blackmon, that 2-run homer. Who Wants Tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. 1 out in the 8th. DJ tonight, infield hit, a walk, and a comebacker.
I think the last time Rosscup was on the mound at Coors Field, he was greeted unceremoniously by Mr. Ryan McMahon, left on left. That was the pinch hit home run that was such a big knock on August 10th.
That was a big swing of the bat. 2 strikes on LeMahieu. The Rockies obviously have pitched much better tonight than last night. Buddy Black is always so cool, calm, and collected in the aftermath of that game yesterday, even though the Rockies had chances in the 4-2 loss, many chances to overcome the 9 walks and the hit batter. He said, basically, and paraphrase, he goes, hey, tonight was an aberration. We've pitched very well. We did tonight. We're going to move on. And so far, the Rockies have done that.
And if they're able to close this one out, we've talked about how important the starting pitching is. When the starter goes 6+ innings, the Rocks are 54-28. That's a .659 winning percentage.
One and two. Dodgers last night, by virtue of their win, snapped the Rockies' 5-game winning streak. Two and two. Even despite that loss, the last 17 home games against NL West opponents, the Rockies are 13-4. And that trend will need to continue because the Rockies, for the next 2 weeks in the division, beginning Monday, they have a 4-game home set with the Diamondbacks. And a base hit up the middle. Long run over there for Bellinger. He'll get there to hold DJ to a single. Second hit of the night for LeMahieu. And that'll bring up Cargo. He's looking for his first knock this evening.
I like DJ's approach this last at bat because he was able to slow himself down, quickly down 2 strikes, and made an adjustment in at bat. See where the Rockies sit as far as their National League West standings, just a half a game in front of the Dodgers.
Fun time of year. Great time of year. Every night, a new chapter. And everybody's studying the out-of-town scoreboard. And you're living on the edge of your seat.
What I always like to say is when you're in first place and you're winning, or if you win, you don't ever have to look at the scoreboard.
Well, the view from up top is better than all the other views. Cargo 2 strikeouts and a deep fly ball to center. Those 3 at bats against Walker Buehler. Buehler's final line, and he'd been pitching great. He pitched pretty well tonight, but the Rockies hit 2 long balls against him, carved out another run. 6 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits, a walk, 7 strikeouts. DJ takes off, and this ball's hit to center field. It's going to be caught out there by Bellinger. So DJ will have to retrace his steps.
That's 2 balls that Cargo's hit tonight now. Probably only missing 2 homers by about 10 feet collectively.
Dave Roberts is not going to allow the lefty to face Trevor Story. He's got Josh Fields out in the bullpen. He's going to bring him in. 2 outs in the 8th. DJ at first. Rockies leading 4-1. In the 8, Trevor Story coming up. What a crowd, 47,867, the 10th sellout of the year. There'll be many more down the stretch.
Let's see Trevor get all of them on their feet right now.
That would be great. He has done that before. He's done it this week 5 different times. Trevor this evening, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. 7-game hitting streak on the line. DJ draws a throw from Josh Fields. And this is popped up. Matt Kemp in right. So we'll go to the 9th. The Rockies need 3 outs from Wade Davis to shake hands. 4-1 Colorado.
Rockies lead the Dodgers. We hope to have all our friends join us right after for the Toyota postgame show. Jenny Kapnar with Jeff Houston. This game had such a good feel to it, and the tone was set with the starter Kyle Freeland.
He did an amazing job tonight. After what happened last night with all the walks, he came out and challenged the hitters, and his 20th quality start this year.
And it's not just about the starter, it's about the closer as well. Wade Davis time, fellas. We'll see you right after the game.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. It is Wade Davis time. He'll face Yasiel Puig, who will pitch hit in the 5-hole, which is now the pitcher's spot. Then Alex Verdugo and Cody Bellinger. Davis has been outstanding of late, really all year. He's had a couple of hiccups, but his last 10, 6 out of 6 save opportunities, 10 innings. He's allowed no runs, just 3 hits. He struck out 13, walked 2 during that period of time. He's looking for save number 39. He leads the National League in that rather important category.
Those last 3 outs. Wade's been incredible for the Rocks, as you said, pretty much all season long. And it really does feel like the last few times out, he's been hyper aggressive with that fastball, trying to get ahead of guys early.
So here's Puig, a starter last night in right field. Undoubtedly a starter tomorrow against the lefty Tyler Anderson. Tardy swing, 0-1.
I feel like Yasiel Puig. Do you remember Rene Reyes?
Sure.
I feel like Puig has a similar approach. Sometimes he's trying to set guys up with swings like that.
Wade Davis, we have said this many times, is somewhat unique as a closer. Goes back to his starter days. He's more of a 3.5 pitch closer. Two-strike count, 1-2. 4 runs, 7 hits. Clean defensively are the Rockies tonight. A run on just 4 hits for LA. They haven't committed an error. Kyle Freeland, another beautiful performance. 6 strong tonight. 2-2 from Wade.
Helping cut from Yasiel on that last pitch. You said it last night when you saw Yasiel Puig going up against John Gray. If you're curious why, the splits are better. He's better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties.
3-2.
Getting close to that time where you need to get the paper bag out.
No paper bag tonight.
Wade's ready. 3-2 on Puig. In the air, fairly deep right field. Cargo has room, 1 out.
I love watching Cargo play right field here at Coors Field. He knows it so well. He gets such a great read on that ball. A lot of guys get intimidated by the big out-of-town scoreboard, the auxiliary scoreboard. Not Cargo. He knows the warning track, how many steps to take. Makes a great catch right there and get the first out.
Cargo's had a very, very solid year defensively.
He has. And I even think back to last year and, you know, his offensive struggles and just how well he played in right field. He never missed a beat.
Verdugo takes a little bit low, ball 1. Second at bat for Verdugo. Pinch hit in the 7th. And there were 4 pinch hitters. And Oberg struck out the side. That's a foul ball, 1-1. Stayed in the ball game in left field. Oberg, a clean inning. Other than a walk, he struck out, as I said, 3. Ottavino hit a batter. But he had 1 strikeout, getting the next 3 hitters. 1 out in the 9th. 1-1. Now 1-2. Sinette had to wear that one a little bit. A big shout out to Chris tonight. Home run and a double offensively. One, 2. He's got it, 2 outs.
Second out, Wade Davis gets a big K. Alex Verdugo. Looks like a backdoor slider. Alex a little bit out in front, trying to cheat to get to that fastball. 2 outs in the 9th.
Two outs. It'll be Cody Bellinger. He walked when he pinch hit in the 7th. Tried to hit a slam. Nobody on base. 0-1.
That old 5-run home run too. It's elusive. It's a great white buffalo, right, Spilly?
Still never found that one.
Rocky shift in the infield. 2 outs, nobody on. 0-1 on Bellinger. The starters tomorrow, 2 lefties. The Rockies will send Tyler Anderson to the mound. And Rich Hill, with the great curveball, he'll go for the Dodgers. This ball to the gap in left center field for Bellinger. And this will be a triple.
Be his first hit against Wade Davis in 4 at-bats now. Going fastball away, and this is one of those things we were talking about earlier. As Cody Bellinger, he went up there, took that big hack first strike, and kind of calms himself down and takes a little bit less of a hack and gets himself a triple.
Now you got both fan bases both being extremely vocal.
Inside on Muncy. Now this becomes a big at bat. It's a 3-run game. They're 2 outs. The tying run in the on deck circle, and Yasmani Grandal, the catcher. And that's up 2-0. How many times have we said it? Nothing easy in a pennant race.
You don't want it any other way.
I wouldn't mind comfortable. That's all right. I'm good with that too. 3-0.
How close is that paper backs, Billy?
It's in my hand. He looked like he was trying to call time and took a step out of the box.
I think it didn't matter. He was taking that pitch no matter what.
Yeah, that was an auto take.
Yeah. He was taking that. No, you can't. No point swinging 3-0 when you're down by 3.
You still want to get the timing down and take a natural take.
3-1, 3-2. The joint is jumping. 3-2 with 2 outs in the 9th. Line to right, and it'll be extra bases for Muncy. He'll have a double. It's 4-2, and the tying run will come up in Yasmani Grandal.
It's the first run Wade Davis has given up in 10 innings. He fought all the way back from 3-0 to get to 3-2. Looks like a cutter. They wanted it in. Just caught too much of the center of the plate. Muncy's able to turn on it for a double down the right field line or RBI. Give the Dodgers their second run.
Grandal is scuffled in the second half, but he is a dangerous man. That's how we feel.
It's the 7th Dodgers pinch hitter on the evening. Or different player used by the Dodgers at the start of tonight's game.
Yeah, Grandal, with all the defensive changes, he'd come in 2 innings ago behind the plate when Barnes was hit for it. There's a strike.
I was going to say, the way Chris caught that, it looked like it might have been a little bit of a cross-up.
You get back in that mode when you're in a 1-run game where you stay away from a guy's power. In other words, he's going to beat you the O-line, you got to beat you to the opposite field. Wade had the luxury of a 3-run lead most of this inning, but now with the tying run up, I figure he's going to work away to Grandal. That's a beautiful curveball, 1-2.
Grandal on the season with 22 homers, 19 of them coming from the left side.
Yeah, this is his better side by far. 4-2 Colorado, 2 outs in the ninth, 1-2 on Grandal. It's full. Let's turn into an extended outing, 2 for Wade. 26 pitches. Gonna make one more quality pitch. 3-2. Got him, strike 3. Ball game over. Rockies win it 4-2. You can breathe again.
Thank goodness.
The collective exhale from more than 47,000 and all of you at home. Wade through the backdoor slider and froze Grandal, and the Rockies win it 4-2.
You got to have a steady heartbeat to be Wade Davis and throw that pitch. Great job by Chris Iannetta, holding it on the outer edge of the plate. And you can see Dodgers fans.
Feel awful for them.
Not even a little bit.
So the Rockies go back up on the Dodgers by a game and a half. They're 2 up on Arizona. Pending the outcome of their encounter with Atlanta tonight, they're still tied in the 8th inning. Kyle Freeland set the tone as he always does. He gets the victory, improves to 14-7. Walker Buehler drops to 6-5. Save number 39 for Wade Davis. What a ball game. Gotta love the purple shaking hands. Time to go to center field. The post-game show with Jenny and Huey begins right now. Jenny, it's all yours.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. You got him exactly where you want him, right?
I got about 15 texts in the last 30 seconds.